won't play with you. I won't play with you. What? Running?
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it a couple minutes, let people join up. Those of you who just tuning in, we do have a fire going, so you might see some residual smoke coming through. It is 30 degrees. I am bundled up, so that's why my neck looks so big. It's not. It's just hoods. Baby Nyla out here, and my chickens. My chickens. Red up there, Blondie. Got Big Gray down here. They got their own personalities. They're their own people. We don't mess with them too much. They like to fight. How are we looking? Well, all right. We're going to go ahead and get started. So, guys, first and foremost, welcome back to Lumberjack Fishing. It is the cold season. We do have ice fishing planned to come soon. But today, we're going to talk about rods and reels and pairing them together. Like what works best for you or what works best for me as far as, being a guy who fishes constantly. Now, I am going to say some of the stuff on here is my personal stuff. You'll notice most of that is spinning reels. That is my preferably. I know in earlier videos you guys have seen me use bait casting reels like this one. You got to keep in mind, at one point in time, I was a sponsored fisherman. Now I'm doing this on my own, so I'm going with what I prefer to use. I used sponsored equipment because I was a sponsored fisherman. I am no longer a sponsored fisherman. I take care of myself. So, yes, I will have a lot of spinning reels on here. So today we're going to talk about, again, putting rods together and what's going to work best for what you want to do. And they do not make an all-purpose everything rod. What they do make, though, is rods that you can use for both fresh and salt water. Everything here, you can do that with minus a few things. So I'm going to tell you how to get that going. So first off, we're going to start with the casting rods and get that stuff out of the way. So as you can see, I have a Lew's Mr. Striper, which is technically a saltwater rod set up for bait casting reel to use in the salt water. Now this is a medium heavy, and I want to show you guys. So the thickness of this one as a saltwater. This is also a saltwater rod here. The thickness of that one, you can see that the base thickness and girth of the actual shaft is the same. That's one good quick way to tell if your rod is a saltwater rod. A medium heavy is going to be like a small broomstick. Okay. Now the guides on this one, they are stainless steel. Now they make other saltwater rods, which I will get into later, that have the alkalite as well as the stainless steel. These are stainless steel. So now this is a freshwater bait casting reel. This is a Dewa Tatula 100 T-Wing. Those of you who've used the Dewa 100 or any 100 series reel, you notice they're all about the same size, which will fit just fine in a saltwater reel. Now by doing this, you have taken your saltwater rod. If you want to use it for fresh water, you can, but this will act as a heavy or extra heavy rod. So your action won't be the same as your normal medium heavy in freshwater as it is in saltwater. And now most of that is about the hookup. So when a fish hooks up, your heavy to moderate fast heavy is all about your bend, where the rod bends, how soon it bends, how quick it's going to bend. Okay, so this is going to act on this series of rod as a heavy. Okay, or extra heavy. Now, because of that, you can use massive size lures if you want to for freshwater. By the way, this is on loan to me from MegaLure LLC, along with a 13 fishing David Dudley rod that we're going to talk about here in a second. So thank you, MegaLure LLC, for loaning these out. Hopefully we don't break them today, so I don't have to buy them. Now, this is a freshwater medium heavy. Okay, now this is what I was talking about with the alkalite rings. You see that there? Okay, now you can, because of the rings having the alkalite in them, you can, if you wanted to, use it in salt water, but I'm going to stress that you would be treating this as if it is a light. Okay, it'll be a light or an ultralight because saltwater fish fight differently. They fight harder, they bite harder, and some of them are just massive. You can't get a weight like that in freshwater unless you're catfishing, which we'll get into that here in a bit too. And again, reel size. Obviously, this is a freshwater reel. This has never been used. Slips right in there, no problem. Again, freshwater reel was just on a saltwater rod, and it's your basic freshwater reel, so it will definitely fit a freshwater rod. So that being said, there are some companies out there. We're going to throw a name out here called Penn. They make a bait caster that will fit a freshwater rod. Cast King makes a bait caster that'll fit a freshwater rod. Daywood does too, but I'm pretty sure you guys don't want to chop off your left arm to pay for the Daywood. So, and then obviously you've got Shimano and things like that. So again, size wise, these two rods are about the same height. This one's about looks like an inch and a half bigger in height. Now, when you get to tip girth, you can definitely see the difference going up. See how this medium heavy freshwater, which is the white tip, you see how that one is thicker than the black tip on the medium heavy saltwater? That's where your action comes into play on these. So, slight differences, big money. Now, I personally, normally use saltwater rods or cat fishing rods for everything, and I'll talk about that when I get into these spinning rods here because it's a little bit of a different ball game. Now, a lot of guys prefer casting rods because you can quote unquote throw further, throw more accurate, which is true. Accuracy, yes, you will never get more accurate than a bait caster or a well put together conventional rod. It's enough. Now, with a spinning rod, you can get just as far. You just up your weight a little bit. So now we're going to compare my personal spinning rod. Again, this rod is available for purchase at MegaLure LLC, which is where I got it from. This is one of my personal rods. Okay, this is a saltwater reel on a freshwater rod. All right, this is one of the Penn. What is this? This is a Battle, I think, or Pursuit. Yeah, this is a Penn Pursuit. So this is a 2500 series reel, and it's a multi-purpose reel. I use it for just about everything. Right now, I got it set up to catch bluegill because I needed bait one day. But this rod, being a medium heavy, again, girthness in the stick. Girthness in the stick. You see the massive difference there in size? Okay, now back to this saltwater rod. Girthness and stick, girthness and stick. You see how they're pretty similar? The Mach 2 is a medium heavy. The Mach 2 does have alkalite eyelets. The Mach 2 is beefy enough if you wanted to fish for small drums or some whitings and stuff, you can. And yes, you can catch stripers with it. We've done it. Okay, just make sure you've got a saltwater reel. You can do all kinds of things with this rod. Okay, do I go after catfish with this rod? No, because I use bigger rods. Because my bigger rods not only are set up for catfish, they're also set up for saltwater, and we'll get into that in a minute. But this rod, yes, it does have a split grip. You guys have heard me complain about that before, but it is a comfortable rod to use in saltwater. There's nothing saying that you can't. Now, this is the alkalite eyelets. All right, now this is an alkalite coated eyelet, but you see how much it sticks up over the lip. So that gives you good durability to use in saltwater if you want to. That's one of the main things about saltwater rods is the durability of the eyelets. The Win Mag, that's the one, buddy. So, and again, this Lew's Win Mag, it is available for purchase. I think they have, what, one or two left in stock? So, MegaLure LLC, guys. Berlin Farmers Market, 41 Clemington Road, store 217. Check them out. Okay, so now we're going to move on to an actual saltwater rod, heavy rod, which is this one right here. You guys have seen it before, but you see, again, stainless steel eyelets, alkali insert, alkali coating insert. Okay, now this is fish for what else was in that water where we were at? Arapaima, things like that. Now this is a good stout, sturdy rod. It is designed to catch tuna. It is a pioneer rod made in Taiwan. And this is the Dogtooth 2. This, This is an ocean rod. This is a catfish rod. Okay. Side by side, if I cover up all the information and you look at the girth of the rods, they're the same. This is a Lew's Cat Daddy. This is a medium heavy. This has, again, alkalite coated stainless steel inserts for the eyes. Double foot all the way up to the tip top. This rod can be used in salt water. We have done it a bunch of times. Again, it is a catfish rod, two-piece catfish rod, but this is my two-piece all big body water rod. I use this in lakes. I use this in rivers. I use this off the pier. I use it off the docks. I use it in the bay. I use it off the side of the road, fishing those little inlets coming out of Absecon. You guys have seen videos of that. This is a good all-around rod. Now this one is paired with a Penn Pursuits. What is this? This is a 6,000. Okay, so this gives me the yardage that I need, especially if I'm fishing saltwater or deep rivers. This gives me the crank power and good heavy drag. Right, I got it paired up with some Beyond braid, heavy braid. So I don't remember how heavy it is, but it's a heavy braid. This is one of my go-tos. Okay, I have one other big series go-to rod that I use, which we're going to talk about. This one is also available for purchase at MegaLure LLC. There's one left in stock. I was there yesterday. These are good rods, guys. These things can take a beating. We've caught a lot of fish with this one already. We do not have anything bad really to say about this, except I don't like the orange color. That's it. But other than that, as far as durability and everything, it's great. Again, two-piece handle. This doesn't bother me because most of my fighting is done here. Okay, this is a big heavy rod. So when you're catching big heavy fish, you fight up higher than sitting down here trying to do this like you do when you're fishing out of your kayak or you're fishing off the bank, bass fishing or something. All your fighting is done right here. So yes, this rod being a split grip, I don't care. I love it. So plus it fits with the way that butt is, that fighting butt. It fits in most of those $1 and $2 rod holders for the bank for bank fishing. So this is a good all-around rod. And would I go bass fishing with this thing as a last resort? Yes. But with the reel that's on here, I would have to change the size because this reel is not made for small lures and things like that. So there's one. Now, this other one I'm going to talk about, this is the Ugly Stick Cat Daddy. I'm not even going to bother comparing, or Ugly Stick Catfish Rod. I'm not going to bother comparing girths because everybody knows Ugly Stick. Ugly Stick guides are, again, stainless steel coated alkalite guides. They're double foot on the first one, single foot the rest of the way up. But these rods, the way Ugly Stick does their rods, this rod, you could use this to probably go tuna fishing. This Ugly Stick rods are just some of the hardcorest rods out there. This is my other go-to big body water rod. Okay, I've got this is a Fierce 4 pin on here. Obviously, I need to put some new line on it, but this is the Fierce 4 pin with a bait feeder. We use this in saltwater a lot. We use this for catfish a lot. And we have caught some massive fish on this. This is one of those rods where I'm not even going to bother spending the extra 20 to 30 bucks or whatever it is for a saltwater rod from Ugly Stick when I can get something like this or the Catfish Special rod, which is just as hardcore as this rod, if not a little bit better. This is an older series. Look, I'm going to be honest with you. I've never had a problem with Ugly Stick rods in my life. We actually have a GX2 that we use specifically for panfish, but we caught a 22-pound catfish on it. Never underestimate an Ugly Stick rod as far as saltwater or freshwater go. These things are a beast, and we highly recommend them. These are not for sale at MegaLure LLC. They do not sell these. I wish they did. That'd be great. But you can get these at pretty much anywhere. You can go as far as get one off Amazon, I think, at this point. Ugly Stick has really grown over the years and become something truly to contend with. Now, with this rod, I did have this reel on it here, this 2500 series, which is more of your bass fishing size. I had this on here for a while, and it does great. This I could use this to bass fish with without a problem. So this would be If I had to call it one, I would say this would be your 100% all-purpose rod without the 100% all-purpose rod price. So again, bowling on a budget, guys. If you take the time to buy 2 saltwater reels, all right, 2 saltwater reels, one small one like this, and one about this size on an ugly stick rod or on this Lew's Cat Daddy rod, you can fish anything, absolutely anything. Nothing will stop you. I mean, honestly, you can tell we've had this in the saltwater. You can see some of the pitting on it. Same with this one here. You can see some of the pitting, but we would seriously to clean them. All we do is wipe them off. We don't even run water through them. We just wipe them off and throw them in the truck. So this one has been abused a lot. We've had this one for a while. So don't judge this one. This is also, you can't get this in the States. Let's just put it that way. The rest of these, yeah. So now here, again, freshwater rod, saltwater rod right here in this hand. And you see how this rod is girthier than this one by just a skosh? Yeah. This is a saltwater striper rod. This is a freshwater catfish rod. So I'm telling you, if you get the right catfish rod, you can fish any body of water if you're a bank fisherman or a boat fisherman. This catfish rod does have the boat end on the end of it. So that'll sit in your lap mount, or it'll sit on the edge of the boat just fine. And it works also good working the shore rod holders. We do use those a lot too. I think you'll see those in some of our videos actually. They got the cross pin in them. This locks right into it without a problem. So now we're going to come back over here to this casting rod, and I'm going to be honest with you. I do not use this rod. I do not have this rod. I have some acquaintances and someone who's very special in my life that has this rod. They use them constantly, mostly to fish for snakehead. Now, snakehead is a fish that will fight you until it's dead. Just straight up. It's that kind of fish. So with the extended grip on the fighting butt here, you have more freshwater fight, especially if you're in a kayak. Now, because of its height at 7 foot, being in a kayak with this, as long as you're not near the trees, you're going to be fine. When I'm in my kayak, yes, I do use this one a lot, but I try to get out as far as I can with this one. But being in a kayak with a 7 foot rod, it is somewhat of a difficulty unless you have a kayak that you can stand up in. So, but as a saltwater rod going from saltwater to freshwater, this thing will hold its weight. It really will, and it's not that expensive. Plus, MegaLure's got it at $60, so it's not that expensive. So again, that's one of those things. If you want a ball on a budget, where you're going to spend your money is on the reel. So with a rod this size, you're not going to want a 100. You're going to want a 200 to 300 size reel for this that is saltwater capable, so that you can go back and forth between salt and fresh water. That is the purpose of this video, is to show you the difference between these rods and how you can make them work for you and not break your bank. So I'm a firm believer. Yes, you see a lot of these rods here are our personal rods. We got 6 rods for catfishing only that we actually use for saltwater fishing as well. And then we only have like 2 or 3 rods a piece that we use for specific types of fishing. So again, never underestimate the possibility of having something that is more than just what you want to do. Something that can do things that, say, later down the line, you buy a catfish rod because you love catfishing. Say later down the line, you want to go out and you want to try to pop off some red drums or some blues or some snappers from the pier. The catfish rod will do it as long as you change your reel. Okay, now I know a lot of guys say, well, you got to have this reel for this reel for that. No, you don't. Okay, we use a lot of pen equipment because pen can go from fresh to salt water. We do that for a reason. All right, having a reel that I can just throw in the back of the truck and run to someplace and fish with, no matter where I'm at, is an amazing feat. And a lot of times you just can't do that. If you have, okay, so here, say you have 2 of these are freshwater reels. This is the David Tatula. Tatula does not come in a saltwater variant. All right, so these are the David reels. Say you have 2 of these. You have one and a 200, and then you have this 100. But your buddies that you're getting ready to go fishing with for the first time, they're all going out to the pier. You can't use it. You have to go buy another reel. My situation, tell me you're going to the pier, all I got to do is change my bait, change my setup. I don't have to change the reel. I don't have to change the rod. And I can just go. It does not matter to me because I'm not going to hurt my reel fishing from or jumping from fresh to salt water because it's a saltwater reel, right? The rod may be a freshwater rod, but we just went over the fact that you can use this in the ocean. I have done it and it works great. Again, just wipe it off. It's not the end of the world. So the only main thing you will ever have to worry about going back and forth is breakage. Now, breakage happens in both bodies of water. Breakage happens to both style of rods. Breakage will happen from a spinning to a casting rod in a matter of seconds. And it's not always because of the weight of the fish. Sometimes it's just the way you yank the rod. If you're a fisherman, you know this, that things happen. You know, if I shut the door of my truck on the tip of this rod, yes, it's going to break and I'm going to have to replace the tip. I shut same with this one, same with this one, this one, this one, and this one. I mean, think about it. Most of these things are just fiberglass and carbon fiber. That is not the strongest material in the world, but it is the most flexible and durable for what it is that we're trying to do with it. So again, take care of your rods, they'll take care of you. And that's where we're at with this video. Okay. We may look like we have all kinds of money wrapped up into our stuff. I buy all my stuff on sale, especially if I can get a 2-for-1. I didn't get this far by spending money. Okay. A lot of the stuff that I had in my earlier videos, again, I was a sponsored fisherman. I didn't pay for any of that. It was given to me to use. So here, now that I'm taking care of things myself, I wanted to give you guys a good idea of how not to go broke to enjoy your favorite pastime. All right. So yes, this rod here is expensive. I think it was around $100. Military discount, MegaLure offers that. MegaLure also offers discounts for seniors, fire, first responder, EMS, and police. So all those guys get a discount. So the rod will vary from price to price per service personnel, per senior. For me, it was about $100. So the reels, MegaLure does not sell pin equipment. If they did, I would have bought it there. But this reel specifically is about average price everywhere that sells pin, between 40 and $50 for a reel. Okay. That's actually really good for a good versatile reel that you can use in fresh and salt water. So I grabbed this rod because I thought by looking at it, I'd be able to use it in salt water. And I had to convince my wife that this is a good rod. Okay. All you guys are married, you know how that goes. Make sure she says it's okay. So now where I'm at with this is, yes, this is very good in salt water. It does have the durability. It is the right size and thickness. It is a medium heavy, so it can take a beating. Okay, this is an IM8 blank. And again, the alkanite coated stainless steel guides, perfect. Now, I'm not going to throw this out there with 3 ounces of bait on it and hope something picks it up because that's a fight that this rod won't handle. Now, when we come over here to this rod, which is a loose cat daddy, this is a freshwater rod. That's a fight that this rod can handle. Okay, this big old rod with these eyelets, same style of eyelets, just double footed. It's made for the beating. That's what this is for. And this right here, this is about 3.5 ounces right here, just the weight alone. So we can use that wherever. Now with these two rods, this rod is pretty easy on the bank. This one, if I was to buy this rod, I'd wait for it to go on sale. But that's just me. This is about an $80 rod. And it's a good, decent style, good, decent size. I don't seem to find anything wrong with this rod. It is double-footed on the first 2 eyelets. 1 and 2 are double-footed. And then the rest of the way up, it's single to the tip. But, I mean, it's medium heavy. I think it feels like a fast. Yeah, it's medium heavy fast. So it's a 30-ton carbon rod. Can't go wrong. Then again, that's not what this is about. Because this is one of those not on balling on a budget rods. This is an expensive rod. Okay. And again, it's on loan. I don't own this. This reel, I can tell you, this reel brand new. This reel brand new is going to run you between $150 $200. All right. The most expensive reel that I own on this table right now was about $80, and that's this one. And I got that in a combo with a pin rod, and I didn't like the rod, so I sold the rod off to somebody, but I kept the reel. That reel by itself, brand new, is $80. Didn't break the bank. And I can use it for anything. This rod here, everybody knows the ugly sticks usually range between 60 and 70 bucks. So there you go. Balling on a budget, guys. Balling on a budget. Is there anything else I'm supposed to run through? I'm asking my camera lady because she knows more than me. She actually runs the show. Everybody say hi to Babyface. She's back there, guys. I promise.
Yeah, I'm there. Hi. Giveaway.
The giveaway. Okay, so I tell you what. I don't know how we want to do the giveaway, but I'm going to show you what I'm giving away. I think I made a post about this. We're going to give away a Lumberjack Fishing Jersey. This is one of the production jerseys we got for the channel. We're going to give it away. There you go. There is all of our previous sponsors on there, which we no longer use. I'm kidding. We still have them. These guys, so what we're sponsored with is just our boat, fishing line, and hooks. The rest of the stuff, you know, of course, we're an ambassador for MegaLure LLC as well. Don't let that skip out. But this is us, guys. Brands that are on the back, we'll give a shout out to Feel Free Kayaks, which you can see we have a couple over there. Three Waters, which is the paddles that we use, but they also make some really great kayaks. Beyond Braid, which is on every rod here that has a reel. Vector hooks, guys. Vector hooks is some of the strongest hooks that we've ever used. So, and yeah, that's Vector hooks on every one of these setups too, except for this one, this bluegill hook. I don't have any small Vector hooks. I got the big ones. So, but yeah, we're gonna give this away today. Hopefully, I don't know how many people are on right now, but hopefully, give me. I don't know. What do you want to say? We get 1,000 views on this and 2,000 likes. We'll pick somebody at random and just give them a shirt.
They need to leave a comment.
But you have to leave a comment. You have to subscribe. Cool. All right. So, don't really have much else.
Tight lines.
Tight lines.
Tell your friends.
Definitely tell your friends. Yeah. There's flannel. There's fish.